Hello everybody, I am Sammy 15 the Dragon Team here today, and today welcome to PAVA Anime Talk, where today we'll be talking about the Attack on Titan, and I'll be doing a review on it today. For those who are new to my channel or viewing a video from me for the first time, I want to say this, there is no other pictures besides this picture, which by the way is not mine. All copyrights belong to the said person who owns that picture, and you'll just be hearing my mumbling, fumbling voice. And I'm pretty sure there's no copyrights on my voice yet, man, because it's my voice. I don't know yet. So if you're not into just hearing one guy ramble and mumble and just go off on a tangent with just one picture with no fancy little effects and stuff like that, then this is obviously not the channel or video for you. Um, yeah, I think I said everything. Yeah, and so let's get right into it. First things first, I want to say that last week I was talking about episodes 12 through 24, and I did not realize there was a 20 that at the time there was only going to be one more episode. If I had known that, I would have not watched the next episode. I mean, I would have waited to do a review. But oh well, that was just my opinions. This is actual legitimate review, so yeah. Yeah, there's 25 episodes, so I don't. So another thing I want to say real quick is that this is the dub review, meaning I watched this whole entire anime in dub, not in sub. And so you people will go, oh, dislike, or just leave the video from here. And my personal feeling is I'll watch dub if it's in dub, or if I feel like it's probably gonna come out in dub. And I knew this was gonna come out in dub, and I knew this was gonna be on Tsunami, so I watched it via Tsunami. So that's where I watch it. Then I watch it every single week, even though if people have been telling me for weeks just watch it online because it's already out online and in sub. But I was being stubborn. I want to watch it on dub on Tsunami. And another thing I want to say is that what was I gonna say? Huh. I was gonna say something about it. Yeah, there's only nothing. I remember. This is only going to be season 1 as of right now. I think there's season 2 going to come on Horizon, but it's gonna yet to come into Tsunami. I don't feel like it's gonna come on Tsunami for a while. I feel like that's a little how Tsunami's like. All right, a lot of our stuff is like leaving and coming back at a later note. What the heck is up with that? Because Sword Online's doing that. They're gonna have a season 2 starting up soon. And same thing with Bleach. They're gonna have another season, but they're taking a break. And same thing with Attack on Titan. And that was just what I was talking about earlier. That's me going off on a tangent. uh, so anyway, yeah, this is just season 1, or the first 25 episodes, whatever you want to call it, whatever. So first things, another thing I want to say is just before we actually get into the anime, is this is a good anime. I like this anime for the most part. And one of the things I want to talk about first is, for those who've never seen the show, and I'm going to talk to you as if you've never seen the show, so yeah. This anime is about, best way to describe it, I believe, is giant. It's basically The Walking Dead with giants. It's really what it is. Or that one huge PlayStation game, The Last of Us. Yeah, that was, yeah. Or The Last of Us, whatever you want to call it. It's basically kind of along those lines where humanity is at war against zombies, or in this case, Titans. But in reality, their biggest enemy is actually themselves. And this anime could have gone multiple directions with the story and plot, but it didn't. So anyway, these Titans from out of nowhere basically destroyed almost all civilization until a bunch of humans managed to build themselves a giant tower. And for the longest time, no one's been able to get in through the tower, and they made several walls. Unfortunately, when the show starts, the wall breaks because of abnormal Titans, and they break in, and everything goes to hell. And unfortunately, Aaron, the main character, sees his mother being eaten by a Titan. Yeah, that's a bit of a story. It's a bit of a, I guess, a spoiler, but It's about the first episode, so if it's something about the first episode, I really don't consider it a spoiler. Anyway, he then starts on his revenge, and he wants to go revenge, so he starts becoming a scout once everything's said and done. And he has two best friends, Mikasa and uh, Armin. Armin, by the way, is a very smart young man, but who has a tendency to freak out a little bit. And Mikasa is a stoic, badass chick who has a massive crush on Eren, which you don't realize right away, but she does. And no, she's not his sister, which it's kind of hard to. A lot of people I've known kind of make that mistake at first too, because they never really say anything about Mikasa. They just kind of assume that Mikasa is just his sister because they kind of look a little bit like. They both have black hair. They're both living under the same house. You know, maybe they're related as cousins or something like that. And it was unsure for a while for me. But until they actually did clarify it in a backstory, which I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Anyway, in terms of plot and story, the story and plot is really good, and it's not. When you first get a hand of what the plot and story is, yeah, that's not it. I can tell you right now, for those who haven't ever watched this anime before, yeah, it's a constantly evolving story, and this is actually the first time in a long time that I've actually been, surprised, or I did not expect certain stuff to happen, where I honestly was legitimately surprised. Like, I legitimately did not see that coming. I mean, I thought, man. I mean, I was really surprised, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe that actually happened. I mean, I was really surprised, but that wasn't really outside the realm of possibility, because, well, you'll know why when you see it, It's actually something like when it happens, you kind of hope it happens, but you don't think it happens because you just. Anyway, I'm just gonna off a tangent on that subject. So yeah, I want to talk about the characters now. Eren, he becomes a whiny brat with angst at first, and then he kind of evolves into that ish as the story progresses, and then he kind of devolves into a whiny brat with angst as this series progresses again. Yeah, as soon as you think he takes a step forward, he takes 3 or 4 goddamn steps backwards. Mikasa, however, is a complete and total badass, and well, she'll pretty much do everything and anything for Eren because of her backstory, which is kind of fucked up when you actually think about it. Armin, I don't really know too much about Armin's backstory other than the fact that he lives with his parents, and his parents were killed, I think. And I think he lived with his dad, and his dad, I don't really remember. I think they did explain it a little bit, but it's not really a focus of the story, so I just kind of forgot about it. I do know that, his grandpa had to go to war against the Titans, and he didn't come back, and so he kind of became an orphan with the 3 of them, because, well, Mikasa lives with Eren, and since, well, she lives with Eren, it's not really too hard to figure out that, well, she's probably an orphan too-ish, in some way or another. I'm not going to say why she was an orphan. Maybe her parents hated her, maybe her parents banned her, maybe her parents died, or maybe she just decided to leave him. I don't know. Well, I do know, but that's for you to find out. So, I don't really like Armin. I don't really think much of him. I just think that's like the whiny sidekick. But he evolves much more into that, especially the later episodes of the series. He becomes kind of a he really evolves into a strategist and becomes really badass-ish in the mind. While Mikasa becomes badass physically, and it kind of evolves into where you think Eren might be a badass in his own way too, but he starts de-evolving and then evolving and then de-evolving all over again. I don't know. As soon as you take. My biggest problem with the anime in general is just Eren's character. The moment I feel like Eren's character is going the right direction, I feel like the writer goes nope and takes 5 steps backwards with him. Seriously. You understand why his ki devolves at first, but he just doesn't really get over it, And he just becomes a whiny kid with angst. That's the only way I really can say it, anything about him. He just kind of talk. And I want to like him. I hated him at first, and then I kind of wanted to like him, and then I just don't really give two shits about him. And I care more about the supporting cast, and there's a bunch of characters. There's a whole snap load of characters who are just cool. I'm not really bad with names, but I can tell you this. There's several really cool and out there characters, and I think one of them's name is Ivan. Yeah, Ivan. No, it's not Ivan. No, yeah, Levi. Levi, Captain Levi. He is a some badass mother. Damn, he's badass. He's more badass than Mikasa. I feel like Mikasa will become the next Levi eventually, but Levi could probably like nail the Titans probably by himself if he really wanted to. It's a bit of an overstatement, but not really. Like, when you see him, you'll understand. I'm pretty bad reviews. Animation quality. I really do like the animation quality. It's not everyone's gonna like this animation quality, in my opinion, but I thought it was really good. I heard the actual writing, the actual drawings of the manga were pretty shit. This is what I heard. I don't read manga, so I don't really know for sure. But that's just what I've been told by several people, that compared to the writing style, compared to the artwork of the anime and the artwork of the manga, the anime is 10 times better. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just what I heard, and I really do like the animation for this anime. The music. Both the first and second openings are some of my favorite openings in anime. Especially this past half decade. Since 2010 onward, this is probably one of my favorite. These are probably some of my favorite openings. Same thing with the endings. They're very memorable and they're very catchy and they're very upbeat, but then with a dark, dour tone to them. And that's another thing about this anime. You probably already know this by now, just by me talking about it. This anime is dark. This is one of the darkest animes I've actually seen in a long time, without actually being horror, a scary, or whatever, anime, you know? Horror. Very bad pronouncing that word. Horror. Yes, that word. Sorry, very bad pronouncing. Whatever. You get the idea. But this is very dark. It really is, and it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for those people who rather have a bunch of laughs. And this anime is just constantly dark and depressing. And this is actually one of the few animes that are very popular that the main characters don't always win all the freaking time, which is actually very different and very refreshing. But getting to the point where you expecting them to lose becomes more and more common, where you feel like, oh, that they're gonna lose. It becomes, that's what I like about this anime, though. You actually feel like they might not have a chance of winning. With other animes where the main character is gonna be a near-death situation, you feel like, oh, he's definitely gonna pull through at the last minute. That's what main characters do. And with this anime, you don't really know. You know, that's kind of a cool thing they did. That's one thing I really do like about this anime. Another thing the music I said was good. Now let's go on to the voice acting. The voice acting for almost all of the characters in this anime, are very good. All the voice actors have performed very well. The one thing I do have to say about Captain Levi's squad is that even though Captain Levi's squad is voiced by really good voice actors, they are not in the anime for long, so they're just kind of supporting, which is kind of interesting to see. A lot of the bigger, huge names are just reduced to supporting roles, and most of them don't even have a role for more than 4 or 5 episodes. Patrick Seitz was playing some Blanca, and his character was only in the anime for 5 episodes. Now, just because I say that doesn't mean the character died, or it just could mean they could just go off, but I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I really did like this dub. It's one of my favorite dubs. I don't really... The thing about this is, the three main characters, Armin, Eren, and Mikasa, they're all voiced by more or less newer and up-and-coming voice actors. Bryce Paperback is probably the most known of the main cast. Be simple because he's been in Sword Art Online and Blue Exorcist, and those animes have been pretty popular. And this is probably the most popular of the three of them. And naturally, he's no longer an up-and-coming. He's now a full-blown big shot, even though he can only really do one particular character. He's also done Red in Pokemon Origins, so he's very good at playing the hot-headed main protagonist that just wants to rush in and save everything and just be badass, but often feels that they can because whether they have some kind of angst or feel like they're monsters or have an inner demon or have something inside of them they're not very proud of, or they just feel very confused. And he's very good at that, basically hot-headed protagonists who have a lot of angst or just emotions and stuff like that. And that seems the whole he's really been doing right now. And I really want to see this voice actor get more different roles. I just don't want to see him too much anymore as the main protagonist. I mean, sure, he's really good at being a main protagonist, but seriously, come on. Be a bad guy or something. I don't know. Just be a cocky a-hole. I don't know. Just do something different, dude. That's all I have to say. So I really did like this dub. I really did like this anime. The one thing I really didn't like about this anime is Aaron's character development. And that's the only thing I really feel like this anime has an issue with. Though I think this might be kind of intentional, that his character development is off and different, but I feel like it's not very good. It is very human-ish, but at the same time, you can only F up so many times before you become unrelatable, Seriously. Only screw up some of the time, kid. Or just, another thing I don't like about him is whenever he's asked, like, a very dramatic question, he starts looking at his hands where just spaces off and just thinks about the question for like 5 freaking minutes. Seriously, just answer the goddamn question. You already made your decision like 5 episodes before that you would want to do something like that, and now you're having second thoughts or just thinking it over. Come on. That's another thing I have an issue with this anime. Just Aaron's thinking times are too long. That kid thinks too much. Seriously, just stop thinking. Now let's go down to the verdict. This is very long. This video's gone pretty long right now, as it is. So I'll just wrap it up because I really have not much to say. My videos do normally go on this long, so whatever. Like I said, I really did like pretty much everything about this anime with the exception of Aaron's character development, but that's really about it, honestly. Other than that, this is anime overhyped? A bit. It really is a bit overhyped, but it does live up to most of its hype, which not a lot of anime can do. I had a lot of expectations going into this anime, and for the most part, this anime actually did meet my expectations, which actually surprised me. So you hear all this hype about this anime, and you're wondering if this will meet like your expectations. It probably will, to be perfectly honest. And everything about this anime was sort of terrible, with the exception of Eren. So what is my verdict? I don't know. It's a really good anime, but it feels like it's too dramatic at times. That's my issue with it, and just kind of a little overly dark. And the story took some turns that maybe it didn't need to get to the same resolution. But all in all, this is a very good anime, and I really do highly recommend it. I would give this anime a 9.2 out of 10. Now some people are probably PO'd them about giving the extra 8 points to give it a 10 out of 10, but I just feel like this anime was overly dramatic at times than when it didn't need to be, and Aaron's character development and Mikasa's character development I feel like wasn't enough. She got some, but I didn't feel like she got as much as she could have. That's kind of my issue with some of these characters, that they didn't really seem to get too much character development as they should with all the time they had and all the time that's passed within this anime. So overall, it is a 9.2. It's a very good anime, and I really do recommend it. And I will watch the second season once it comes out in the dub, and I will watch in the dub because I started watching in dub, and I will finish it in dub. Damn it. So anyway, I am Samuel15, the Dragon Tamer. Hope you guys like this video. If not, oh well. Please like, subscribe, all that silly stuff, and hopefully I shall see or talk to you guys next time.